Right, in the midst of talking about what our weekend plans are, we have Manisha Gupta, who's in the studio now with us. Manisha, tell us about the commodities and then your weekend.
Weekend first. Can I do that?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. No, but Kunal Shah is joining us. Let's not make him wait. Kunal, hi. And, I want to talk about the crude oil prices. If you're thinking about driving over this weekend, with the kind of decline that we've seen in crude prices, clearly is good news for India as a consuming country here. We have come down from nearly $100 a barrel to $90 a barrel in a matter of perhaps 10 days. How do you see, one, this kind of a decline coming in? How much of speculative positions have you seen unwind because of this? And what's your sense going forward?
Okay, so right now there are demand concerns from China. Chinese economy is slowing down quite rapidly in last 1 month. So Chinese demand has gone down by almost 6 lakh barrels. And if you see the global demand and supply of oil, after even OPEC announced 2 million barrels of production cuts, the oil markets are still in surplus. So I believe that OPEC Plus will continue with its rhetoric of more production cuts going forward, which would eventually lead to some support in oil prices. But $78 seems to be the floor in short term for the WTI. Already we are at the verge of oil breaking to $80, and I think it may break. And because of that, we are going to see some more decline on MCX also. So still not very optimistic, but I think it should take a halt at $78.
So another couple of dollars down, or rather $4 down from these current levels is what you're expecting. Kunal, the whole conversation rhetoric about the European Union putting a ban on Russian oil from 5th of December, we being into a winter season demand period, do you think those factors would support somewhere?
So if you see whatever news apart from the China's demand slowdown, whichever the news, so there are two things. One is this, and another is Russian oil price cap. So these two news are sentimentally, slightly bearish. But I don't see oil prices are going to crash. Looking at the way whatever is happening across the world, we have seen a meaningful correction right now. But I'm not expecting it to crash. If it does, good news. But I'm not expecting a major crash from here.
Before the month of November started and we were looking at a dipstick survey of the rest of this month, that is a couple of months then, and most banks told us that 90 to 110 is the range that you could be looking at for the crude prices. We are clearly at the lower side of the range now. What are the risk-reward ratios that you see from here on until the end of this year?
See, what changed after that OPEC announcement of production cut is U.S. oil production. U.S. oil production has almost moved up by 90,000 barrels, so almost 1 lakh barrel after that, and it's ramping up quite fastly. All the basins in U.S. are producing, shale oil production is shooting up. So next year, U.S. shale oil production is expected to touch another high, somewhere at 13 million barrels is what I'm expecting. So this is what has changed right now. But I think a floor should be, strong floor is expected to be at $78.
All right. Kunal, what's your sense also on the natural gas prices? Because there has been a profit taking onto this one as well. The inventories, whether it's about US or Europe, are comfortable as of now. The volatility, of course, continues to be quite strong here. But given the fact that we are looking at a colder season forecast going on from here, do you see supports coming here?
Yeah, as of now, the cold is moderate in US, but if the winter season, if we are seeing the more cold, I think natural gas will shoot up. So even though recently there has been a lull, but the fundamental of gas is still not bearish, and there is odd that if the weather conditions are extreme over there, natural gas can again shoot up in test levels of 560 to 570 on MCX.
Kunal, one final question, and of course, $10 of a move in last 10 days on crude is quite on the higher side. Given the fact that we are getting into a festive season soon, it is almost after 15th of December that you see a very low lull, less liquid markets coming in. So for the next 1 month, essentially, how would you look at the prices move? What is that you think the speculative moves would be on what side?
Like I said, 78 should be the floor for oil, and on the upside, $87 to $88. So this is the range I'm expecting. If oil goes down below $80 and test 78, I think that will be the time to accumulate it.
All right.
And around $85, $86 book your profits.
Okay, all right, Kunal, as well as Manisha, thanks very much for joining in and taking us through your entire commodity setup, and wish you a good weekend as well. For our markets, it's a bit sluggish. We have recovered from the day's low. The Nifty is currently at around 18,256. We have the mid-cap index, which is down around over 140 odd points. We need to wrap up on the show, but stay tuned. Business Lunch will take all the action forward.